Okay, next up, Norwich v Birmingham, which we did last night on the channel as the watch along. Not the most entertaining affair. Birmingham setting up very much to stop Norwich, but Norwich in the end breaking them down with an 85th minute goal. Still no Zimmerman for Norwich. Cantwell comes back in. We'll talk about him in a second. And Hugel and Pookie both start. You can see Birmingham bring Roberts in alongside Dean and Friend. And Lecco makes a start for them. Let me just say before I say this, Todd Cantwell is a very good player. He's a very confident lad who carries himself in with a certain swagger, let's just say, that I assume if you support Norwich, you really enjoy. But it can come across slightly dislikable. Here he is laying on the ground, gone down poleaxed in the box. And then 3 seconds later, he literally leaps to his feet and slides in. He should score, actually. Maybe if he'd stood up, he would have scored that. But yes, an interesting moment in the first half there. And then, huge chance there for Cantwell. Good save by Etheridge. I'm not digging him out there with those two things. He did play well, and he's quite an innovative player there. And that is Adam Clayton getting a second yellow card. And this was just key because right after this, this was sort of 83, 84 minutes, and just before Birmingham could readjust and make a sub, Norwich actually go ahead and get the winning goal. That's Vrancic there. Hogan had given the ball away in the build-up, and a quick break, and Ida sets it up for Vrancic to get the win. As I say, and Norwich found this against Derby, didn't they? Just teams now know the way Farke's Norwich played in 18-19, and maybe at times in the Premier League, just setting up to stop them is what Derby and Birmingham have done. Now, your view on this depends on whether you take the absolute of the result and leave the nuance out. So, Norwich won. So, in terms of the absolutes, well, job done and a victory. If you look at the nuances there, they did huff and puff. They didn't create much in the way of openings. I know I've showed you the Cantwell 2 chances there, but the second one was from a mistake from Lecco. So, look, before any Norwich fan tries to take me on in the comments, when I mean openings, I mean clear cut. They had a lot of the ball, but with 8 Birmingham players in between. In the end, they did manage to break them down. So in terms of the absolute, without the nuance, yes, they got there. But if I were a Norwich fan, the last 2 victories have been very late wins. I would want to see just a very standard run-of-the-mill 2-0 victory where a load of big chances are created. You know what I'm saying. So, but just get the wins at this point, especially when teams are coming up just to stop you. Look at that. 73% possession, 23 shots, only the 4 on target, and only the 1 big chance, which would be probably Cantwell's in the first half there. So that's the point I'm making, that there's signs that Norwich are now going in the right direction. Obviously, 2 wins is good, but they've both been late wins. They've both been against 10 men. Maybe it's the start of them becoming viable and starting winning, but still, we haven't seen that. When Norwich went up under Farke in 18-19, and I know Norwich fans get grumpy with comparisons, but we're allowed to compare. It's the obvious kind of barometer, isn't it? They would very consistently create a load of big chances in a game, not concede many, and, you know, dominantly win. They're not winning dominantly yet, are they? Dominating possession, but that's not winning dominantly, is it? If you know what I'm saying. For Birmingham, though, well, we'll look at the results. We'll just do Birmingham on the right first. And after winning against Brentford on the opening day, 3 straight draws and now 2 straight defeats. Obviously, we knew under Karanka it was going to be pragmatic and defensive. Maybe they won't be quite so pragmatic and defensive as they were last night in most of the games. I know Norwich are very good on the ball. But that's no wins in 5. And I think someone told me in the chat, have they not scored from open play yet this season? I think all the goals have been sort of corners and penalties and whatnot. So on the one side, good that they're tight and they're getting their play going, but on the other side, worrying with the results and the goal scoring. As I said, for Norwich, obviously, look, they could have won that game against Derby on another day. Pookie doesn't fall over, sticks the penalty, and obviously they lost to Bournemouth and drew to Preston. But 2 wins there. You'd look at Wickham as a banker, and then a much more interesting test there where they go to Brentford on the 27th. And that's a team that will actually let Norwich play and will try and play football against them. Then we'll start to see almost a preferred opponent for Norwich. But they get the second straight win. They do the job, and they were the active team, and Birmingham were the passive team. And I often in those situations do kind of think, well, if you're passive, you are kind of hoping that things go right in the game plan. So Norwich getting the win. If you enjoyed this clip, why not go and check out the whole video? You can find that and all of my other content at my channel, the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. And while you're there, why not hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for regular notifications?